For my next project, I'm getting rid of this desk. It has served its purpose. It's just kind of like a crappy particle board, and I think I can do much better. I spend so much time at the desk, I kind of want to have a nice surface. So gonna keep the frame and swap out the top.
Here, but that's what we do for like dining tables and stuff. You could also...
Right, we got a beautiful piece of pecan wood from Harvest Lumber. This is it. I'm using the bar cart as a little table, but yeah. All right, I got really good bit of it sanded. Worked from 80 all the way up to 320 grit, and I'll probably sand it more at the end, but I want to now focus on filling in this hole. It goes all the way through, so my plan is to tape the other side, and then I have some filler that I'm gonna put in, and then put epoxy on top of that. See how it goes. because that was the only place I could find that I could control the humidity, which I guess is very important with working with epoxy. So let me show you what I got right now. Epoxy is taking a warm bath. I've got some torches in case it bubbles up a little bit, gloves, piece of sandpaper in case you need to sand anything, paper towel, alcohol wipes, directions, and then that's going to be the mixing cup. Plan is to pour the black epoxy in all of these holes and hopefully not have it leak through the bottom, as well as this other hole as well. I might try and, depending on how smoothly it's going, try and pour it into there. We'll see. Doesn't smell that bad. And I got the ventilation going here in the bathroom. My thought is with some of these cracks, like these ones, even if the epoxy overflows it, I'll be able to sand it down so then the epoxy will fill just the crack and be even with the wood. We'll see how that goes. I've never done this before. Alright, here goes nothing. Things I was not expecting was how sticky and gooey the epoxy got as time went on. I think we had like working time of like 45 minutes, but it was liquidy when we started and it got thick. Back in action, sanding the epoxy and continuing to sand the wood. I'm gonna start with 120 grit, see what that looks like. Eventually I'm gonna go up really fine, and then apparently you can just like buff out the epoxy so it has a really nice shine, but really curious to take this off and see how it looks. So I'm gonna keep sanding that down. I don't want that in there, but coming together. This is after the initial sand. You gotta see the sun, but I am quite pleased with the way it's coming along. It's like totally flat there. I did get a bunch more sandpaper. Specifically, all the way up to 2000. So that's super smooth. That'll be my last one. But I think I'm gonna start 120. I have 240. Probably start at 400, 600, 800, 1000, 1200, 1500, and then 2000. Just gonna work my way up and get it super smooth. But first, let's take this tape off. To the 400, I sanded the back, got it pretty decent. Now I'm just gonna focus on the top. One of the things I'm finding is I'm sanding with the 2000 grit, so it's the finest grit, and after I sand it, it's extremely smooth. But then when I wipe away any of the extra sawdust, I'm noticing the imperfections in the wood, and it's not nearly as smooth. But I feel like this is a losing game because the imperfections could keep going deeper into the wood, and I'll just keep sanding down. So I'm going to wipe off all the sawdust, give it another shot with the 2000 grit, and get it really as smooth as possible, and then I think it's time for wax. Alright, gonna let that sit for an hour. This is the desk it's gonna replace. I used to keep this outside, so I got a bunch of rust there, so I'm just gonna take care of that, take it off, clean it all up, and get ready for that one. I'm gonna get it as good as it is for now, and we'll just cover up with a bunch of wax. All right, new home. Now I get to wax it up. All right, this is the final setup. Desk came out really good. I only stuck with one coat of wax. That's really all I needed, but super smooth, and yeah, it looks good. Excited to get some productive work done here. Thanks for watching.